All right, this is the setup for let me see if I can move this thing down here. Yep, good. This is the setup for the commission pay, or how we job cost the job, and how all that works for the installation side of it. So we know what true commission to pay out, and actually how to price a job as well. So I'll just take you through that. This is the setup tab, and broken this down into hours. I usually focus that into days, but um, you can do it by hours too. So the company I'm working with right now is doing it by hours. And so I've broken it down. Here's the day from your profit pricer. So you should be able to, like I said, I put a note in there. But profit pricer, you might have a day rate in here. So plug it in here. And then this should divide it by 8 to give you your hourly. So you can plug it in here. And so if you've got a day rate in your profit pricer, plug it in here. And this will do the math for you. And then you can plug it into here as well. So you can divide that by 8. And then put your commissions in, put in your desired net margin, and a sliding scale. Sliding scale means based off of the profitability, that's the sliding scale of commissions that we pay. Start off at a 10% commission and can slide all the way down to a 2% commission. Okay, and I'll walk you through that piece right there. So that's all on the setup page. Now we'll jump over here to the quick job pricing page. So here's you can see the 119.22, and that's 119.22 for the labor. Pops up right here. And then you've got 347.91 for overhead, and your setup page should say 347.91. And so that's all copacetic. And then we've got a 10% commission, and we've got a 25% net profit. Okay, so that's how this. So if I'm looking at a sold day and I have no material incorporated in this, okay, our sold day is 57.49.20 for a sold day rate. Okay, and this comes right out of the profit pricer, and I believe the profit pricer that I had up on this was for the water heater repipes. Okay, so you'll have different departments that are going to have different cost selling prices. So you need to figure out what that is for you. Okay. And let me go back to the other page here. And where's that? Yeah, there we go. So I got a 10% commission. I'm going to verify that back over here. Oh, I had a 12% commission. That's why this is different. Let me just go back to that so nobody gets wrapped around the axle on that. I have a 12% in here. If that was a 10% commission with a 25%, that would be at 35, and that would be 57.49.22. And you'd come back to here, and it should be 57.49.20. I guess I missed out on the 22 cents, and that was probably a rounding error on my end. Yeah, so missed out on 2 cents, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not sure why that was. This must have been decimals out, and I just cut it off to the nearest decimal, and that's why we're missing 2 cents here. So don't get yourself wrapped around the axle on that piece. All right. So anyway, this is a full day for 8 hours. You got 10% commission, 25% nets. All right. And if you have different, for some reason we had a 12 plugged in there, and I'm not sure why that was, but it is what it is. We can have that discussion, but just get focused on what the job pricing, job costing tool is. And that's what this is right now. So as you can see, this is 57.49. So that matches our profit pricer of 57.49 with the 25% net and the 10% commission. So I want to make sure that we're start off on that foot first. Okay, so that we're copacetic. So now we add material to it. So this is based off of, you're going to find this out from your salesman. how much material did they actually use on this job? And this is how we price the job. This is the tools that we would price a job on, like on the fly. And sometimes you may have it in the book, and the book will have, if you have a pricing guide in your book or in your ServiceTitan, this math should be the same math that's in there. So if it's not, we need to look at ServiceTitan to find out why, because I have found some discrepancies inside of ServiceTitan, that ServiceTitan is not creating the proper selling price. And it's just a setup that Mike Marcel and I will go through and make sure that this is being shored up as well. So anyways, but these are for jobs on the fly, and there's times where we need jobs on the fly. And so this tool helps us out quite a bit. And you can basically call your manager to get you that price as well. So let's just say the equipment cost us $3,500 on this job. And you might have miscellaneous other stuff that goes in here as well. Oops. So just whatever those are as you're building a job that's not already in the book. You might want to consider some of these costs in here, like a financing cost. Do you have a financing cost in this? Or we'll plug it in. So if you find out what the financing cost, let's say financing cost is $1,200. Okay, plug that in. And now that'll be your selling price. And the good news is we're making 10% on the financing price. Okay, on the financing cost, just like we're making 25% on the material and the equipment. So I'm not afraid of price because I know I'm making profit on everything, all of my cost. I'm not afraid of cost because I make profit on cost. Okay, and so do you. So that's just a mindset that I have, and I've been able to live with that because Frank Blau taught it to me. And if Frank Blau said it, you need to be doing it too. All right, here we go. So now this is a setup. So now let's just take this selling price here. Okay, and I understand that I built this for a day, 8 hours. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this and then come back over here to the job costing side. So this is how we priced it, and that's what we sell it for. But now we got to do a job costing at the end of the day. So I put in my job costing right here. So, this is our selling price for right here. Now I have to then go, okay, what was my shore up in materials? Well, let's just say it was everything else that we have that we did everything came out perfect. Okay, so we got 3,500 and 1,200. So the material and equipment turned out to 3,500, and then the financing charge turned into 1,200. So now we are perfect at a 25% net margin over here, and we've got a 53% gross margin. Direct cost, but we got a 46.4% gross margin. It tells us that right now because I put in the selling price and I put in the number of hours for that. Now, if you had more hours, now look at this, what that's going to do your net profit. Here's your net profit over here at 25%. If you put in, let's say it takes you 2 days, okay, that cut in to your profitability, you're down at 3.6% because you had 8 extra hours or a full day extra of labor burden and overhead. Okay, so let's go back to 8 there. Keep it at, we did it as we bid it. So we're back to 27 instead of 50 something. And we're back to 953 on the labor side. So what this also did is if you had 16 hours, look at this. This is the commission over here on level 1 at 10%. So when we're hitting the 25% margin, okay, everything is based on the 25% margin, okay, so you would have earned the $1,298. So let's go back over here to the quick job and show that $1,298 is what you're expected to make on this. Okay, so after job costing, we don't pay the commission on the front end. We pay the commission on how the job ended up, how profitably the job ended up. Okay, so that's very important. And the reason that is there has to be a check and a balance here. Okay, there's got to be a yin to a yang. That everything has to line up. It's just math. Okay, if something went wrong, let's say we had a subcontractor for $100 and we didn't bid it in, well, that's going to ding you $100. It's going to ding the salesman $100 because you didn't bid it in. Okay, so that's how this works out. But I'm going to go back to this, and I'll do some more what ifs with it in a minute. But here is it's a sliding scale, you can see. So even though you had you're going to make the greater of the amount. So let's just say you had a $100 service or a subcontractor. All right. Instead of making $1,200, you're making $1,198 or $1,200. The other one was $13. But it's still greater than this amount. So let's say that subcontractor was, let's say, a $500 subcontractor. All right. So your $500 subcontractor made your 10% commission look bad because now you're at $798. Well, that drops you down to an 8% commission. So now you're at $1,038. So you're getting paid the greater amount in these columns. Okay. I don't know why that did that, but these columns, you're going to get paid the greater amount. So it's a sliding scale from 10% to 8% to 6% commission to 4% commission to 2% commission. All right. So now let's just think about this for a second, and let's just say, what happens if we break even on a job? Okay. So if I had a cost in here that I had to put in $3,444.99. Okay. So let's just see what that looks like. So 3244.99 additional cost. You're still making $250 at zero profit. So what you've done is covered some overhead. Okay, so this $259.60 is eating into the company's overhead. But you know what? You allowed us to get $2,700 in overhead. Okay, and we were able to cover our material cost up here. And the material cost could be miscellaneous or whatever, just plugged in. So it's a fair process for the company and a fair process for the salesman, but it is on a sliding scale. And it also stops salesmen from dropping their drawers to being the lowest price. Now, understand that when you do, and your manager is going to be coaching you on this, we'd prefer to sell at full price, but not every job we can get at full price. Sometimes they're in negotiation, right? Or Mrs. Jones got something for $500 less. Well, if that's the case, then charge her $500 less. You're still making a nice commission at 8%, okay, from a 10% range, right? So, but also, a salesman is never authorized to give a discount. The manager is the only one that's authorized to give the discount. So, salesman, you cannot discount the jobs on your own. You have to do the high authority close with your customer. So call your manager in front of your customer, put it on speakerphone. All right. So when you've got it on speakerphone, I want Mrs. Jones to hear the conversation between you and your manager. That's the whole process here. Is we want our customers to be read in on everything. Okay, so I don't want a salesman say, "Well, I'll drop it $500" without anybody giving them the authority to do it. You don't have authority to drop your price. Only your manager has the authority to drop your price. Okay, just want to make sure we're clear about that, and that just keeps the game above board. All right. So, anyways, that's how this job costing and commission structure program works out, and. You come over here to setup tab. We talked about that. And you may be looking in your profit pricer or your business plan workshop, and you may have sold days figured in that. So you just need to verify and shore that up if you're going to an hourly, how many hours on a job. I coach on installations that it's day work, day jobs versus hourly jobs. And the reason I did that is I went to full day jobs because some salesmen would put in, this will take 6 hours. Well, what the hell am I going to do with the other 2 hours in the day? Okay, on an install crew. So I always made it a minimum of 8 hours or a minimum of 4 when I had a condenser and I could get 2 of them done in a day. Okay, but you can't do that. Your manager has to authorize you to do that. Okay, because even if you have This was, and again, this is my process. So get with your manager on this. And, if your manager says, yeah, we can sell half days, I just want the manager to be aware that you need to make sure that you have another half day somewhere. Okay? Because if you sell 5 half days in a week and you don't have anything to do, that's only 2.5 sold days, and we need 3 sold days. So we missed our target by selling half a days. So that's the reason why I don't want us to walk down some rabbit hole that we shouldn't be walking down. So if you can focus this thing on total hours or total days, number of days, or a minimum of 8 hours in a day, I'm fine with that if you guys are comfortable with using sold hours. But make sure that they're 8. Okay? Don't cut them down past 8. That's all I'm saying. Unless you have 2 half-day jobs, and they are half-day jobs. All right? All right, so there's almost 16 minutes, and I'll cut it off from there.